What's up, everybody? It's Angie here. I'm the left leg amputee above the knee, and you can call me Ange the amputee. It's been a bit since I've been on here, and I apologize for that. I ended up getting sick for a couple of weeks, and then life just gets busy between school, work, family, kids, all the things. Like, you get spread out. But anyways, I'm back. So I just actually wanted to pop on and talk a little bit more about some of my other surgeries. Now, as most of you know, if you've watched my other videos, having my amputations is not where my surgeries, like that's not even the bulk of my surgeries, it's just some of them. So I have had 44 surgeries total up to this point in my life, and I thought I would talk about one of them, and it led to a second one. When I was 25, I was pregnant with my fourth son, and my whole life, I dealt with endometriosis up until the time that this happened. And endometriosis can create a lot of issues, including infertility, and I was very fortunate that I was able to have 4 healthy babies, and I had them between 18 months and 2.5 years apart, which was really amazing. I would get cysts on my ovaries, which is common in women, but I also, at the time, and I didn't know this, had problems with scar tissue. And I would go in and I would have just like normal women appointment. I would have pap smears, and this, after I'd had my fourth son, I went in and my pap smear came back very, very abnormal, and that I was at risk for cancer. So they said, we need to jump on this. And I had 2 of my babies C-section. So they said, what we'll do is we'll just go in through that C-section scar and we'll take out your uterus and ovaries or whatever. And I was young and really wanted them to keep my ovaries. Like, I did not want to lose them, so that I had to do hormone replacement therapy. I was not a huge fan of having to do that, especially at that age. So we scheduled my surgery, and this is where everything gets crazy. So this is your trigger warning. If there's anything that you do not want to hear that has to do with graphic surgery content, just scroll on by. So I went in, and the doctor, it was supposed to be a routine surgery. Well, he opened up the C-section scar, and my uterus had actually fused to my bladder. This means it became one giant organ, one mass, and that's how much scar tissue I had, and everything was covered in scar tissue in there. So not only was my uterus enlarged and all these weird things, the texture of it was not right, and just different things like that. It was not good. But yeah, it had fused and become one mass. So that's when they realized that apparently I had a serious issue. And in that surgery, they had to detach my bladder and my uterus from my uterus, and of course repair that. They took 1 ovary and left me the best one, which was by my choice. Like, I begged them to leave one. And this was probably not the best idea. I'll just prelude that because I don't know. You'll find out why in a minute. So then they also took out my appendix at that time. So there was a lot of repair work that went on, and it was a very, very painful surgery. But I was like, okay, let's get this done. Let's get it over with. And I began the healing process. Went home, was with my babies, my boys, and they were, having 4 kids under the age of 6 was a handful, but it was amazing, the most amazing experience ever. And I cannot say how grateful I am, especially in hindsight, because I look at the issues that I had and I don't take that for granted. Like, I know that I'm very lucky for the type of issues that I've had to deal with internally, that having my children is like the biggest blessing in my life. I mean, it really truly is. So I healed from that surgery, and it was about 8 months later. I was 26 when I had my youngest, and it was probably about 8 months. So yeah, I was probably about 27 when I started having issues again, and there was severe pain in my side, and I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. And so I went back to the doctor and said, please tell me this isn't my ovary. He did an ultrasound and found a cyst that was the size of a ping pong ball. And women get cysts quite often, and a lot of times they will rupture and the body will reabsorb them. So he says, this could do that, or we just need to keep an eye on it because your insides fuse together and we don't want that to happen. And he says, come back in about 2 months and we'll see where it's at, because usually they don't grow that fast, right? It's hard to gauge how fast, things like that will grow. So I went home and waited for another 2 months, and January came around, and I went in and he said that the ping pong ball sized cyst had grown to the size of a grapefruit. And this was really bad because, as I just told you guys, my uterus and my bladder had fused together as one organ. So he was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna fuse to your organs. Like, you're gonna fuse because this is what is happening with your body. This is messed up, but yeah, we got to get in there and get it taken out. So this is where it starts to get a little bit gnarly. Now I had 2 C-sections, and a hysterectomy, a partial hysterectomy, and they had gone through my C-section scar. Well, they were trying to get in, they were going through that same scar, and he couldn't get it open. Like, that's how tough the scar tissue was. Every time that they would cut that open, it would come back 10 times stronger, and it was just very, very difficult. So he ended up calling in 2 other doctors, and the visuals just really awful. But one of them ended up having to get up on top of the table, he told me, so that they could actually work together, the 3 of them, to get my C-section scar open. Thank heavens for anesthesia, because the visual is just, it makes my skin crawl. Well, they got inside, and this grapefruit-sized cyst had fused to my bowels, bladder, and small intestine, and created an absolute mess in there. So I underwent another organ detachment, and this was, the second detachment, and I've had multiple organ detachments, and I'll tell you more about those. But yeah, I'm very rare in the sense that most people don't fuse like that, and they don't even know why my body was doing that. So they took the cyst out, they took the ovary out, they had to repair the bowels, bladder, and small intestine, and that was one of the most painful surgeries I've had internally, because that's a lot of abrasions, a lot of cutting, and your organs feel too. I don't know if anybody has ever really talked about that, but when you skin your knee or you skin your elbow, it hurts. The same type of feeling is within our organs when they are cutting away that scar tissue, and when they're repairing things, you feel that, and it is intense, and it is wildly painful. So anyways, they were able to get rid of that. They took and stapled me back up, and they were able to send me back home. And I'm just really grateful that I actually have kids. Like, that's a huge thing. A lot of people with endometriosis struggle with infertility, and I was very fortunate that I was able to have my babies, and I just do not take that for granted, because they are truly my life. My boys are my life, and and now I have stepchildren too, who are also my life. And honestly, I couldn't be happier. Motherhood is something that I wholly love. I know it's not for everyone, and I 110% respect that. So to each their own. But as far as like my experiences go and stuff, I feel like my surgeries have made me more grateful for the little things. And here we go, I'm gonna start crying. It's those little things where you know that you're at risk for, possibly even dying, and that's a scary thing because I was, like I said, a young mom, and I had no idea what was to come. This is long before I lost my leg. Let's see, if I had that happen in 2005 and 2006, that would have been 10 years prior to me losing my leg. I had no idea what the future held, and there was a whole heap and lot. I just want to say thank you to everyone for being here, and if you're new here, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. And if you've been here for a bit, thank you so much for being here. I noticed we're almost at 500 subscribers, which is freaking fantastic. I mean, you guys have no idea how excited that makes me. I'm hoping, my birthday is on September 6th, so I'm really hoping that we can get to 500 subscribers by September 6th. I don't know if that'll work or not, but yeah, do what you can. That would be great. So pretty soon, I'd love to start doing some lives and just actually interact and engage with you guys. You guys have a lovely day, and if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to comment. I love the comments, I love the questions, and I love the interaction, and I appreciate you guys. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.